Isn't it about time for somebody's favorite radio program?
Holy Testicle Tuesday
was the most important day of your life. But for me, it was Tuesday.
Y'all ready for this?
Meet Happy Gilmore. He was a hockey player.
Don't you ever touch my puck!
Now he's going from the rinks to the links.
Where you going with those clubs, punk? I'm your caddy.
He's got the swing.
He shoots, he scores!
He's got the drive.
This guy sucks.
He's got the ball.
All right, let's go.
Adam Sandler is Happy Gilmore. Rated PG-13. Starts Friday at theaters everywhere.
911, what's your emergency? Yeah, my wife got attacked by a warthog real bad, and I need someone to come up with an ambulance and pick her up. Okay, sir. Can you give me your address? Yeah, we're at 1825 Eucalyptus Drive. Okay, could you spell that for me, sir? I'm going to drag her on over to Oak Street, and you can pick her up there.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Well, they can get a whole lot worse. So we're not going to fight anymore. We're going to pull together, and we're going to find a way to get out of here. First, we're going to seal off this tour.
Bye, Ironcaster.
No!
Boy, do I have a surprise for you.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Greetings and salutations, everyone. I hope everybody out there is doing well. Welcome to Talk Hard. Man, I tell you what, after a week off, I told Loki earlier today, I think I'm just as tired, if not more tired, than when I started the vacation. And man, oh man, am I looking forward to being back with you wonderful folks out there and this wonderful panel. Thank you for doing this, and I hope you're going through some good times and enjoy your summer as we are going to kick off our Sandler Summer series. That's right, 3 weeks of Adam Sandler movies, and this guy right here next to me is to blame for that. As we transitioned away from sharks a little bit, we're going to do Adam Sandler. And I have to be honest, Ironcaster, I was pretty oblivious to the Sandler Summer even like meme. Like I didn't even know what it was, and then of course I was like, is this a thing? And I'm like, oh, it's his look. He just always dresses down. And I'm like, I think I've been living a Sandler Summer life my whole life. Like that's how I dress pretty much all the Loki's met me in real life. I dress exactly the same every single time if I can. So it's just t-shirts and cargo pants. I don't wear flip-flops, but anyway, so Ironcaster, my friend, Sandler Summer, man, we're going to deliver.
Well, I'm always trying to find a new little spin on things to throw some ideas out, and I wanted to take an opportunity to show off an enjoyable movie or two. One or two that I might be in my happy place.
Happy place, indeed. Well, I knew he's a 90s kid, so I knew some of the stuff was going to be more in line with the love affair you would have for this era of comedians and comedy, for sure. So, Loki, my friend, Sandler Summer, not what I expected as we headed into this year, but I do, of course, enjoy a lot of Happy Gilmore. Next week, we'll be talking a lot about Billy Madison and Waterboy. And then after that, it's a first watch for me. I haven't seen Uncut Gem. We're going to do that one. So that'll be our Sandler Summer contribution. I don't know. How do you feel about the Sandler Summer transition away from sharks, my friend?
Ironcaster, I'll see you in the parking lot. Okay, so top 3 Adam Sandler movies: Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison, and Waterboy. A lot of people like 50 First Dates and they like Wedding Singer and all that, but these are the 3 funniest movies. And it's not because of Adam Sandler. It's because of everybody involved with Adam Sandler, from Bob Barker to Jaws, from Bond, all of it. Price is Wrong, bitch. It's all of them combined that made these 3 movies great. Ben Stiller's appearance, who he is uncredited for in the role, who will be back to play the same evil retirement home guy in the second movie. Apparently, it's everybody. Chris Farley and Billy Madison. All these people made these movies. And that's why later you're like, why isn't he funny in this movie? Why isn't he funny in that movie? Because he doesn't really have all those people around him to make it that funny. So I can definitely deal with Happy Gilmore and Billy Madison and older Adam Sandler movies because everybody's there to make it funny.
Wait, Loki. So you're saying he's essentially The Rock, but for comedy?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. That's actually a pretty fair analysis of Adam Sandler movies, I think. I will say I do enjoy his every man approach in some of his other movies. It may not be nearly as funny and not as quotable for sure. I will admit that Sandler does produce a lot of movies that the missus and I can just have on, and I think that includes a lot of bad ones, at least objectively as a critic. So it's a tricky one because if we watch them regularly, how bad are they? So it's a difficult thing. So SQUEEKA Mouse, though, first time watch, and I am so envious. Before we started, she revealed she had not even seen the trailer. So yeah, the Bob Barker stuff was completely a surprise for her because it was ruined in the trailer, as you saw in the intro. Imagine watching this and not even knowing Bob Barker. I can't imagine. I cannot wait. Can't wait.
I love Bob Barker. I love him. We still watch the old Price is Right reruns. I love him. And so he busted out. I'm like, Bob! I was so excited. And then the fight scene, I was like, yeah, get him, Bob. It's like, yeah, Price is Wrong. Bitch. So excited. I was so excited.
Have your pet spayed or neutered. Goodbye, everybody.
I was waiting for him. I was waiting for him when he finished the fight to say that. And then he just turned around and he's like, bish. And I'm like, yes, Bob! Yes!
Yeah, it was good stuff. Hang on one second here, folks. This never works to get Loki in proper, so we'll have to just figure that out. So.
It's one of those little scenes that's gone on to live in infamy that's ultimately lived on in a lot of ways. I think in a lot of ways, it's one of the standout moments of the film that everyone always remembers. And with that line, the price is wrong, bitch.
Price is wrong, bitch.
Well, I'd heard the line, but I never knew where it came from. There's a lot of lines in life that I'm like, I don't know where that came from. Like, I didn't know We're Gonna Need a Bigger Boat was from Jaws until I was on Talk Hard and y'all do it in the promo. I was like, oh, that's where that line's from. So I just, I was so excited. But I agree with Loki. Looking at the movie and not knowing Sandler, the movie was funnier because of the people he interacted with. Like, I didn't find him on his own super hilarious, but at the same time, like, him interacting with Bob, him interacting with the Jaws actor, like you said, like, even just the scenes with his grandma. I was like, I loved her. His happy place. Oh, I loved his happy place with the little rodeo small person.
What did you think about Ben Stiller coming out of nowhere when she's like, I could use a glass of warm milk, and he's like, no, you can use the glass. Just shut the hell up. Now you will go to sleep, or I will put you to sleep.
First off, I confess. So Beard was watching with me, and I'm like, I know that guy, and he goes, yeah, that's Ben Stiller, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I didn't know who he was, but the thing is with this movie, you expect things to happen. So when they presented how he was a nice guy, I was like, what's he about to do? So I knew something was coming, but the last part of the movie where she's like on the phone or talking to him and he's like making the hand gestures. Yes. The way and I'm sorry, the quilt racket.
Good news, everyone. We got 4 more hours of arts and crafts.
Oh, looks like you're on landscape duty.
My fingers hurt.
Your fingers hurt.
Well, let's say hello to this wonderful chat. You guys are amazing out there. Here's Snorty holding the door open for everybody. Hello, humans and other critters. Great to see Snorty, of course. It's a lovely mouse holding everything down, showing everybody the way. Appreciate her so much, so much. Claude is here. Great to see you. Hopefully you're doing all right, my friend. Let me see here. Get through all these. Hello, Jacob Ironside, man. Great to see you, man. Hopefully you're doing good. See Jacob out there. He says, get that up here. So I found another shark movie, Bigfoot versus Megalodon. All right, Ironcaster. Let's see the review show. We'll go over on the Jacob, if you're volunteering, deal Sharkcaster, I'm sure he could run a marathon through, so feel free to, let's see. DJ Ronnie G is in the house. Great to see you, my friend. DJ Ronnie G is here. Greetings and salutations to you. Greetings and salutations. Slasher Fred. Great to see you, brother. Great to see you. Awesome, my friend. And then the Canola talk. Speaking of big feet, see, 14 months. Pop is a secret Shooter McGavin fantasy. I do love Shooter McGavin. I love Shooter McGavin because the story is that Christopher McDonald, made up the whole, finger gun thing. Like that was all like just ad lib by him. So I love actors that are just going to own it, lean into it, love it, make it iconic, even if he is the villain. Yeah, I have a Shooter McGavin shirt. I wear proudly. I'm totally good.
Well, I mean, it's worked out for him too, because ever since Christopher McDonald, he's never had to pay for a round of golf in his life, and it's everyone wants to be able to play against him. So he's turned it into a hobby.
Well, he actually did do the shot at the end of the movie where he sinks the 32-foot putt. So that actually happens. I believe he was on with a sports show with Rich Eisen. He talks about it. I think it was he had 7 tries. He got on number 5. And he just went total into the shooter mode, and because he didn't want to go out with the whole, missing at the end and all the sports cliche. He at least wanted to make the putt. So yeah, it's good stuff. Yeah, Solus asked him to make the great quote: "Price is wrong." Yeah, good stuff. Wait on you. Yeah, I know. People love it, man. Great quotes, great moments. Thanks for all that. And thank you, Cannoli, for being such a great supporter and friend and everybody for so long. Fred, it's a series of How I Met Your Mother. There was an episode where Barker appeared as himself, where Barney wants to meet him because he believes he is his long-lost dad. That's kind of funny. He does kind of have a little bit of a Doogie Howser dad look about him, doesn't he? Could work. Yeah, R.I.P. Bob Barker, sure. Yeah. Bob represents that era of like, everybody loved what happened to Ironcaster. We lost Ironcaster for a minute there. All right, there we go.
He misses Bob Barker so much.
Doesn't he represent like that era of like there aren't very many celebrities like everybody loved? Who hated Bob Barker? Like, you know what I mean? It's like we lost, Betty White, and so we have a little short list of who are the people that everyone seems to love, and I think it's we're down to like Dolly Parton and Denzel. Maybe it's a very short list though. Celebrities are not like they used to be. They're very divisive. Keanu Reeves? I don't know. I think there's a lot of people that don't care for Keanu Reeves. So, yeah.
Tom Cruise, throw that in there, is probably like the last real Hollywood.
Yeah, he and Brad Pitt. Yeah, he and Brad Pitt are probably the two of the real Hollywood stars. I don't know that everybody loves them though, but I would say they're
SQUEEKA obviously doesn't.
Yeah, she groaned at the Tom Cruise reference for sure. So
how about Quentin Tarantino?
No, definitely not. Yeah, no, it's going to derail the show, so I don't want to do that. Never mind. I'll make a note to self to do it with Loki privately. We'll go from there.
What about Chubbs? We're forgetting Chubbs. I loved him. And his little
Chubbs is amazing.
The running wooden hand joke. Oh my gosh.
And it's so bad. Like you can literally see Carl Weathers' hand on the sweater, like holding the prong. It's just, yeah. Gotta love Carl Weathers, man.
SQUEEKA, did you ever watch what's that movie where he's in hell?
Little
Nicky. Did you ever
No.
watch? Okay, if you
I've
watch Little,
seen only Adam Sandler film I've seen is 50 First Dates. That's it.
okay, well, if you watch Little Nicky towards the later half of the end of the movie, little Nicky ends up in, which is played by Adam Sandler, ends up in heaven, and Chubbs walks out with these tennis girls, and he's like, "It's all in the hips, baby. It's all in the hips.
Yeah, great
It's
insight.
all
Yes!
in the hips." And they kind of look at each other, and he's like, kind of like, "I know you."
Yeah.
And you're like, "Oh shit, they just had to go there."
That's
Chubbs
one of
is
the
in
best parts of
heaven
Little
hanging
Nicky.
out. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, look who popped in. The Padawannabe. Now, this predates SQUEEKA. So, SQUEEKA, I don't know if you know. So, Padawannabe, back in the day, we were doing a giveaway, and he won some Return of the Jedi trading cards from 1983. And he asked if he could come on and open them up with us. That is literally all he said. And he ended up throwing the bubble gum in his mouth and chewing 40-something-year-old bubble gum and starting the Padawannabe challenge of who would chew the gum. Now, Ironcaster's done it a couple times. Loki refuses to do it. I've done it.
I'd do it.
All right, I'll get you. You got to do it on camera though. It's the problem.
Oh,
So,
see, no, you can't.
yeah.
I got a couple of packs of those Indiana Jones ones you sent, but
Yeah.
no, we are not opening those and chewing bubblegum. Not gonna happen.
You have Howard Duck. Howard the Duck has gum.
Howard the Duck too.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't want to open them if you're not supposed to open them.
You can open them. It's hard to imagine a long lost Goss once considered to only be Scottish people. Oh, yeah, that's true. So yeah, great stuff. And again, Carl Weathers just running with it, owning it, and becoming. I mean, sure, he's Apollo Creed from Rocky, and people will refer to other roles like from Predator, but I think we just say Chubbs, it just comes to mind. Like we don't even have to make other references; we could just say Chubbs, and that's how iconic this became, like overnight. So,
Dylan, you son of a bitch.
yeah.
He keeps losing hands.
He does lose hands. I would say too. I think Ironcast, you really hit the nail on the head too, because it made a little bit of money, but I think it is the impact on culture and how quotable everything become from Happy Gilmore. And I remember correctly, Loki, do you remember as well? You were old enough, Ironcaster, to know a little bit. It happened pretty fast. It wasn't like this was like it took 5-10 years for everybody to be quoting for Happy Gilmore. It's pretty fast, even though the movie didn't make a ton of money. Big deal for him for sure.
Well, also to point out, this movie came out the same year that Tiger Woods also started playing golf professionally too. So there was this little surgence of golf becoming more popular.
Okay, that's fair too. That's fair.
But just on the subject with the hand here, there's something to be said. It's something to really appreciate for having just kind of that obvious cheesy prop as part of the film, like where you see someone get punched out a window, and then we cut to just the stuffed doll getting pushed out the window. Yes, it's like it's fake, but there's an absurdity to it that makes it funnier.
Or like the golf clubs, like he's toting around his grandpa's old glove. Nobody offers to replace him or says anything like about him, or like I just love the fact that he's got these like obviously weathered golf clubs, and until like he gets the putter from Chubbs. But I love the little hand guy, like constantly breaking it. Oh my gosh,
that's made of wood. It's real durable.
Yep. Louise Sparrow popped in. Great to see her. Great to have you with us. She'll be here with us on the show in a few weeks, so great to see her.
But or like the guy, the Jaws guy, I don't know the actor's name, with the nail in his head. Like they're not. It was funny because they would revisit some of the cheesiest jokes.
It comes out next week.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And then he comes back for the tour, and the ball lands on his foot. Like he comes back, and it's like, oh, it's the guy! Yay!
If you notice, if you ever watch this again, he's always holding either someone or something.
Yeah, he's got a cane.
Because he can't stand there on his own. His back was so bad that he couldn't, because he was so tall. And he was just abnormally huge, such a big guy that he couldn't stand there on his own. So either he's got his hand on someone's shoulder, or he's got his hands on his cane, or he's got his hands on like a post as he's standing there talking. He's always got his hand on something.
Yeah, he's a 7-footer from back in the day, so that was really, really ahead of his time. Famous for playing, obviously, Jaws in those James Bond movies, but he had a role in the original Longest Yard with Burt Reynolds and Pale Rider, underrated Western with Clint Eastwood, by the way. So, yeah, I really enjoyed Richard Kyle in this. Really fun. Great gag. Great gags. Like you said, just keeps coming back and leaning into it for sure. I would say too, I have to go back. I'm just still envious of the fact that SQUEEKA didn't know that Bob Barker was going to be in this, because that's just like one of the biggest things about the whole movie is the fact that they go there.
You know,
there were a few moments.
That is a joke I hope they do return to in the sequel. But the joke with Happy Gilmore 2 is that, Adam Sandler and Drew Carey actually get along really nicely.
Interesting.
Because, also, and we were talking about this a little bit before the show, there was a little kind of quote-unquote sequel where Adam Sandler visited Bob Barker in the hospital, and they got into another fight. And Adam Sandler makes a comment about how he's like, let's just go watch The Price is Right. I love the new host.
Yeah, good point.
So there's a sequel to Happy Gilmore?
Yeah, it's coming out in a couple weeks. It'll be directly on Netflix, and it's sort of like Happy's 30 years later. He's obviously gotten crappy at golf because he's older, but he needs some money really bad. I didn't like the premise of the trailer. I like the idea of the gags and seeing the fun stuff, but I'm like very apprehensive of, sad bad dad and then just rip off knockoff gags. But it's on Netflix, so it's free. So I'll probably watch it at some point and review it accordingly. So,
but also we get Shooter McGavin back.
Yeah, we don't have enough Shooter McGavin, but we can't have Richard Kyle back. He's gone on, so that'll be sad. But there he is with his nail in his head.
See, I don't want him to do The Price is Right again. Just leave it at Bob Barker. Pick a different person. Like, pick
One
a different
gag,
show or whatever.
one element that I really loved. I don't know, Loki, you play a lot of putt golf back in the day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love this one.
I love
Eris got stomped when we were at Universal the last time we met up. Eris got absolutely stomped. It was like, what the hell? Well, I'm still good at it apparently.
Yeah.
But this is crazy nonsense that they do.
I love it. I thought all this was great. I thought the insanity of the idea of just there's an old guy that's nodding at him, SQUEEKA, Chichi Rodriguez, and I got to find a picture of him so you'll know. So I'll find that. So it's again another one of those reoccurring gags that plays really well once you know about it. This movie is really great at just calling back to those gags and making you laugh and laugh and laugh. For sure. Sorry, I'm waiting for the photos to load to find a one of Chichi.
I love when Shooter McGavin takes over his happy place.
Yeah.
He's got Abe Link in there, and he's got a little midget in a cowboy suit riding a tricycle.
Yeah, I can't not laugh at the midget just riding by. And then Grandma's in the Gene Simmons mask, and Christopher McDonald just leans into everything.
I'm like looking at his happy place. I'm like, yeah, lottery machine, get it, Grandma, blah blah. And then this just out of nowhere, the little dude on a trike, and I was like, what? My happy place is lacking. I don't have any dwarfs on trikes.
It weighs.
Sorry.
No, you go ahead.
Did anybody listen to the tapes back in the day or the CDs that he put out?
You mean his music?
Well, it wasn't just his music. So Adam Sandler, Chris Rock. Everybody knows who Chris Rock is. David Spade, Chris Farley, Phil Hartman. There was a bunch of them that traveled around together doing comedy tours, comedy clubs. And what they did was, this is all while they were doing Saturday Night Live, they made these tapes of this just stupid shit that they would come up with, these like skits that they would do. And Adam Sandler made cassettes and DVDs out of them. And you got that. there's like 4 or 5 different volumes with David Spade, Chris Farley, Chris Rock, all these guys that you know now that were just starting to hit the scene back then. And it's some crazy shit. And I honestly think that him not having that is part of the reason why you got a lot of the slop you got later in his career, because he just didn't have all that zaniness to bounce off of, those crazy ideas when they were just riding around, hanging out, sharing hotel rooms to go and do comedy clubs.
And and you're right. That's what makes the Adam Sandler comedies work. It's when he has this great cast of people he works with. That's why you keep seeing so many of these faces in all these films, because these are his friends who he would just want to, laugh and make jokes with.
Padawannabe one of them. Yeah, they're all going to laugh at you is one of them, where they kind of riff off of what's the Carrie, the movie Carrie, about the prom night shit. They have all kinds of different skits. There's a variety of them you can find and listen to. So
that's just a comment right here. He also corrected me. It was Lee Trevino. I don't know why I said Chi-Chi. He's 100%. Yeah, Lee Trevino. Yeah, I really do. So, I think part of the problem with Sandler. So I was just not to totally disagree with you, but to just amend what you're saying, because a lot of what happens here is he has this success with Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, this era. Now he's producing his own stuff. And I think we tend to pluck out the things that are good and that we enjoy about it, but they're throwing so many things against the wall that they hit, and it's still a quantity issue. So I don't know how many people are out there touting his Longest Yard remake, which is full of stars, or I think you mentioned Wedding Singers. I personally enjoy Wedding Singers, but I know a lot of people don't. So things like that, it's like, if you keep generating enough, because he worked with a lot of those same people in the Grown Ups movies and some of those type of things that, again, Mrs. Pops and I enjoy watching most of the Sandler library. However, when it misses, it usually misses very badly, in my opinion. Like, I think Click is unbearable to sit through.
Agreed.
There's what's the other one? What's the one that you keep trying to get me to watch? Ironcaster. And I'm not watching Ridiculous 6, but there's another one that you keep bringing up. I'm like, no, not happening. There's a couple.
Well, of course, we're talking about Jack and Jill.
Oh no, I'm not watching that nonsense again. No, not happening. So
it's like that one with the firefighter guys that get married. I'm just like, yeah, no, I'm not.
Yeah,
Chuck and Larry.
Chuck and Larry, thank you.
Yeah, not watching Chuck and Larry again.
That one is also a really weird one to look at now, considering how much time has changed. That sort of the culture in which that movie was made is so far behind us that it's super dated for its time.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But then there's like other bad ones that I don't mind watching. Like I enjoy watching Pixels. It's stupid and it's arcade video game fun and dumb, but I enjoy watching that one for some reason. That one doesn't bother me as much. So it's just a hit and miss library of stuff. But I think for Happy Gilmore, what works is the jokes are sort of like more like the Airplane formula, where they're layered on top of each other so rapidly, you don't really have a cool down time much. So for instance, like I just love the little Asian lady gag in the moment, because in the next scene she's wearing a shirt and it's like, you're not going to have breakfast?
Yeah, it's such a breakfast.
When the night goes in,
I'm like, this is
I wanna kiss
so
you all
funny.
over.
Yeah,
and over and again.
Yeah,
good. I saw those kids figure paintings and they suck.
Yeah, no, not you, baby, not you, baby. He's just. But this is Sandler being Sandler. This is SNL Sandler. Like, this makes sense that he would lean into. I think that some of that gets lost for sure. For sure.
I'm sorry, baby. I didn't mean it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I like the fact that there are obvious things that you're like, oh, I know how this is going to end up. And you kind of see it coming, but you really don't. You don't see it coming the way that it's delivered. And you're like, oh, that's even better.
I wish they had added her to the end of the movie.
Yes,
added the girlfriend baby, and him just be like,
no, I wanted the little Asian lady to come back at the end of the movie, like when he won, they're all cheering, or have him show up at Grandma's house when they're all toasting. Like, I wanted her to come back. I was waiting for it.
That's
They
true.
brought
That's
back
actually
Abe Lincoln.
that's almost like a missed opportunity to not have her there with the crowd. Like, he could blow it a bit, but again, the layers of the jokes, right? So he doesn't like hit the one long ball. He hits it one. You're laughing again. Then he hits another one. Then okay, we should probably go inside. It's like it's really done well. The timing's great. The gag where I've seen this movie a million times and I still laugh. We both still laugh at this sequence, even though we know what's coming. So
another uncredited comedian on the left, Will Sasso
yeah, Will
from
Sasso's
Mad
good in this.
TV. So, and he's not in the credits either. So,
Soul Assassin and Loki brought this up briefly too. There's also the Chubbs reference in Hell and Little Nicky. So yeah,
you
there's
see
definitely some overlap.
Chubbs. Yeah, you actually see Chubbs in Little Nicky. So yeah,
But I think he really lost that. I really wish he had kind of kept some of this stuff universe and kept building in that. I think it would have made for some more fun later on, but they just don't do that anymore. So let's see. There's so many comments, folks. Sorry if I miss your comments. So they're good stuff. We'll be talking about Waterboy next week. It'll be amongst our early Sandler stuff for sure.
No, Colonel Sanders, you're wrong.
Yeah, it's a Brendan Fraser movie, but yeah, him and Airhead, the Airheads crew is fun. It's him being Sandler. It's him being Sandler for sure.
Saturday Night Live Sanders. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Big Daddy's kind of a remake sort of philosophy, but it's fine. It's an okay movie. I don't remember us watching that recently, but we wouldn't be opposed to watching that one. So it's kind of that same category. I think she enjoys Wedding Singer because it's so full of like 80s nostalgia. Like it is that's just an 80. And then of course when Billy Idol shows up, man, I love Billy Idol. He's one of those unsung people from the 80s we don't talk about anymore. So
See, I feel like I should watch more Saturday Night Live. I don't know any of it, so I don't know.
It's so hard to find to tell you what to watch because the best stuff is like you have to kind of pull out of you watch an hour and a half show, there's like 3 skits that are worthy of your time. You know what I mean? It's like people will remember characters in those skits, but it's like it's hard to recommend sitting and watching episodes because even when you go back and watch the original, the greats, over the course of a whole show, you're still sitting through a lot of mediocre to bad skits. It's rough, but these
Just
characters,
look up YouTube. Sorry.
Yeah.
Just look
100%.
them up on YouTube. Best of Adam Sandler on YouTube. Best of Chris Farley on YouTube or on Saturday Night Live. Best of, just look up the big names and look up best of. You're going to get at least an hour of laugh your ass off.
Yeah, there's lots of really fun SNL stuff that's out there.
They used to sell DVD, compilations of some of the best of.
Yeah, true. But you love Blues Brothers, so go back and just start there. Start SNL, Blues Brothers, watch a couple of them performing live. Watch John Belushi performing live, where he'll start doing his impersonations. They're just phenomenal. And then go down the rabbit hole with his characters and other characters. And yeah.
I just feel like it's referenced so much in a lot of comedies. Like y'all talk about like their skits and stuff. And I don't know if it would give me more background into who their characters are or how they act, or if it would just be if it's better to watch without knowing the SNL part of it.
Well, the one trick to it is that in a lot of cases, so much of this stuff has been so quoted, referenced, nods to, that there's a lot of elements of it that you like you were saying earlier, there's a lot of stuff that you've seen and picked up, but you didn't quite realize where it came from originally.
I've got a fever, and the only cure is more cowbell.
One of the greatest skits of all time. Yeah, by far.
Speedy Balls.
Swebby Balls. Right.
Well, but I like that moment where it's like, oh my gosh, I've been hearing this for 180 years, and here's where it's from. Like I said, I'm going to need a bigger boat. I've even said that, not knowing where it came from, because I just thought it was funny. And then I come here and I see the intro and I'm like, oh, that's from that Jaws movie I haven't watched.
Well, Scott Westbrook, man, I thank you so much. He's out there supporting us and a friend of the channel for so long, saying good job and giving us that love. Scott, thank you so much, man. Appreciate you being a supporter and helping us. Like he says, keeps the lights on. Keep the lights on for sure. Thank you, Scott. Thank you. No, it's fun. I think that, ticking away at some of these comedies, and we probably just need to continue to just highlight, because again, it came up recently because we were talking about this Happy Gilmore sequel coming up, and my wife saw me scrolling around. It's like, when did they do? She saw the Axel F. She saw the Beverly Hills Cop one that went direct to Netflix. She's like, well, should we watch that? I'm like, no, not worth your time. There's 2 or 3 moments, and it doesn't feel like the same universe. It feels like someone else doing dinner theater. It's just bad. And she was just saying, well, there aren't good comedy. I know. We just don't do comedy well. So you just kind of hang tough, rewatch this old stuff, continue to build a library of old stuff because there's so many to choose from. So that's what we'll do. We'll keep doing that. So Pat wanted me to point out that Little Person is Brad Williams. He's a famous Little Person comedian. His stand-up is great, and you can also watch a lot of that on YouTube as well. Totally agree with that assessment there, Pat. Brad Williams he's off the chain. He's great. So that's a good comment. Good comment for sure. And Zax is here. Great to see Zax. I don't know where he said hi to everybody. I just didn't find the right one to clear. There it is. There's Pops. Okay. He's saying hi to everybody. So hail to you, Zax. Hail to you, my friend. 51st Dates is sort of a reunion, right, with Aykroyd as well. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff there in 51st Dates. Oh, that's a sweet film. I enjoy that one for sure.
Well, that's the only one I'd seen prior to this. That's the only Sandler movie I know is 51st Dates. Well, yeah. And now Happy Gilmore. But
you would enjoy Wedding Singer for the 80s nostalgia too. I think it'd be fun for you. I think you would enjoy that for sure. It's a sweet, fun, little cutesy movie, but it also is just riddled with this concept of Wedding Singer. It's like, talk about something that's completely outdated. I mean, there's no way, Loki, that they're still doing Wedding Singers, right? I mean, that's not a thing. There's no way they're doing Wedding Singers anymore. No. Ironcaster, did you ever been to a wedding with a wedding singer?
No, it was always a DJ.
Yeah. The wedding singers were phasing out during my generation. By the time I got to Loki's, I'm sure that was the end. And it was like a bunch of people who should have stopped doing this a long time ago. And the movie is sort of like that. Yeah.
Well, we didn't even have a DJ at ours. We had a violinist, and she ended up getting hit on by Mexican Iron Man. So.
Well, yeah, of course.
Oh.
It's on brand.
On brand.
I can't help it. I'm sorry. I can't help it. SNL is wasn't a thing over here. A few clips online. That's all. Yeah, I know it's tricky, Luis, but I mean, dig out the clips by the people that are famous. Like, search up, Mike Myers, Dana Carvey, Sandler, Chris Rock,
Christopher Walken.
Well, the famous Blue Oyster Cult, just SNL Cowbell, and that everyone needs to watch that. If you haven't watched that, it's one of the greatest skits.
He was also one of those frequent guests that had a lot of amazing sketches, like Colonel Angus.
Yeah, the story time with him was also very good. There's a lot of good stuff. So the problem with Saturday Night Live, though, it's like you get a couple good skits, but I can't sell you to go watch an hour and a half is the problem. So, yeah. She's also went on to say comedy's very subjective. I love Pixels, but I've never watched Happy Gilmore because I assumed it was outside my humor range. Well, I hope you watch Happy Gilmore. Give it a chance. It's fun. Pixels is definitely nostalgia, gaming, silly, goofy. Happy Gilmore is actually a little more substantive. I know that sounds ridiculous, but it actually is.
I love Billy Madison, but this is subjectively a better movie than Billy Madison.
Oh, it's a way
Billy Madison is funny. I love it.
Dumb.
I love it's dumb. It is so
dumb.
Here, Mr. Penguin.
Yeah. Billy Madison and Waterboy are dumb, but they're dumb.
Billy Madison the shampoo conditioner?
Yes.
Yeah. Because I thought it was this one, and I was waiting all movie for the shampoo. I'm like, I could have swore he said this is where okay.
No, that's Billy. Yeah,
it's next week. Okay.
That's Billy Madison. And pay attention to the maid. Because the way the maid treats him is like, oh my, she's like, that boy sure is a piece of work, all right. He's a good piece of ass though, too. And you're like, what in the shit?
I know. They'll just sneak it in. I know. Scott Westbrook's throwing down some love for Mr. Deeds. We actually have enjoyed Mr. Deeds. I don't know when the last time we've watched it. I'm certain we don't own it, so can't say I disagree there. But yeah, it's a remake of that classic film, and it's a fun little film. But you know what? Even in his bad movie, so again, I've watched a lot of Sandler movies here to get ready for a little Sandler Summer video of my own. I watched the murder mystery films over on Netflix. and they're riddled with like little one-liners that are funny and clever, but they almost aren't made for you to have. There's no laugh pause. There's just lines, and things just keep moving. So I feel like I was enjoying it for that, but the substance of the movie is just not there. It's just so dumb that I couldn't do it. But there are moments where he has these lines and innuendos and things like that that are just really fun.
Grown-ups is like that. Both of the grown-ups.
Grown-ups are actually, we really enjoyed the first Grown-ups movie. The second one, not so much, but the first one. The Pee in the Pool stuff just makes me laugh out loud. Like, I just freaking love. Yeah. But it's one of the multiple movies that he does where he just wants to play basketball with his friends. So it's just, that's Sandler, because he actually can play basketball. He's actually quite a good athlete for a dude that makes me feel better about myself. So
We just wanted to go to a cabin for a weekend, and we shot a movie.
With like
horror movies start out that way too, Ironcaster. We just went to a cabin in the woods for the weekend, and we opened a portal to hell.
Mm-hmm.
We saw a couple rednecks out there, and we assumed that they were murderers. And then I fell onto a pitchfork.
There you go. Some love for the homeless guy gags, because they just sort of like are intertwined in. They didn't really ever make the lexicon. The most famous one is when he's throwing the golf club and then he just kind of like grabs it out of midair. But I always kind of enjoy some of the homeless guy gags. They actually kind of still amuse me too. Like he doesn't have a shoe on and just he'll throw the rock. Just little moments like that. So
when he takes the quarter the first time,
Mhm.
and then you see it later, he puts a cracker down. I'm like, yes, get you know him.
Zax, hopefully you can enjoy us next week. We talk about Waterboy a little bit. I haven't
Waterboy's
watched
great.
Waterboy in a long time. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to watching Waterboy.
The Waterboy, dude.
Yeah, you can do it.
You
What
can
part of
do
the
it.
steak is this?
Y'all been ruining it. Stop, y'all. I haven't seen these.
That's
spoilers.
Cajun.
What did
For
you?
real?
Yeah, oh yeah. And what's funny is if you hear him say that enough, Squeak could just roll it back and you'll be like, I understand what he's saying. I know exactly what he's saying.
I'll have to get myself.
Because you got to cut through the coon-ass Cajun accent to get what he's saying.
Oh, I got friends from Louisiana. I can handle it.
Squeak, what do you think of Shooter as sort of like the weird villain and kind of comedic villain? Because he's sort of like he's a major pansy and silly and stuff, but he's never like it's the equivalent of a villain in a comedy movie like that. I don't know. He's really unforgettable. Everybody knows Shooter.
Yeah. I mean, I liked him. He wasn't just angry all the time, and some of the things he did was silly. And like when he got his comeuppance, every now and then it was just funny. It was just funny. And the end where he takes off with the jacket.
Mhm.
I was like, get your jacket, boy. But I like him hiring. I didn't see the. I mean, once it happens, you're like, oh, of course that's what happened. But like when he hired the guy to give him a hard time and yell at him, I was like, oh, should have seen it. But it was so well done. And then the look on his face, like, yeah, we're friends. Sure, we're friends. All right, I'll be waiting for you at the Red Lobster. Okay.
Yeah. I think the thing is we can sympathize with the fact that Ironcaster, I mean, Shooter is sort of like getting jobbed, right? This nobody comes on the scene and just outplays him for whatever reason. He's just kind of a douchebag thinking that he's entitled and whatever. So I think he's a relatable antagonist and villain for the most part. And that's why he's kind of lived on to everybody. Because you don't hate him as much as you do other characters in other movies.
Well, that and he has some of the most memorable lines in the movie. Shh, I eat piece of shit like you for breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
You eat pieces of shit for breakfast?
What?
No.
Yeah, it feels like a Ben Stiller line when he's, like a line from a Ben Stiller movie where that's the kind of humor that you get in those.
And I love how he sticks to it. Like, he sticks to his guns. He's like, go back to your shanties. And then at the end, he's still so uppity. And so I'm like, dude, if you take the 9-iron out your booty, you might have a little bit of a better time.
So if I have a negative, Julie Bowen is just not hot for me. Like I just can't get Julie Bowen. Like it doesn't work for me like at all. And I may just be the only one who doesn't find her like even remotely attractive. Or it's like she's not an ugly lady. It's just like, oh, okay. Mm-hmm. You know, these nerd movies usually have like a really hot other person. That's usually kind of part of the shtick. Like every Kevin James movie has got some woman that's so far above his batting average, it's insane. But the lovable losers tend to have these really, really pretty girls, and for her, yeah, not so much. It's like, okay, am I in the minority here?
No, I'm. Go ahead, Ironcaster.
Oh no, you're absolutely right. I was sitting back today thinking about it, like, well, what do I have to complain about the movie? And I'm like looking over the cast, and like, I'm going down the list. I'm like, okay, God, but there's such a great supporting cast. Chris O'Donnell is great. Grandma is, so easily lovable. You're going down like Richard Keel as the Mr. Larson, but then it's like Julie Bowen, the love interest here. She's just she's wallpaper. She blends in. She doesn't have any memorable lines that stick with you.
I absolutely agree with that.
And that's the biggest issue. There's nothing remarkable about her. She's fine in the film, but the problem is she's like the paper plate when you have like a fruit cocktail.
Okay, hold on a minute. I'm sorry. Hold on. Wait. I don't know that I've ever had anyone make a lady reference to a paper plate, let alone very specifically to the fruit cocktail plate. So it's the small paper plate, is what you're saying.
Yeah, you have all these bright colors. You have all this very sugary sweet fruit that you're looking forward to, and then when you're looking at it all together on the plate blends into the plate is the background that everything kind of blends into, and that's her.
But I think she's one of those fancy Chinette ones where they try to go all out to make it look good, like the Thanksgiving dinner kind of plates. Where I think I like the fact that she wasn't over the top hot. I like the fact that Grandma stole the show. I like the fact that there was the other supporting cast. Sometimes I don't like it when they go over the top in these comedies with, oh yeah, by the way, here's your male eye candy hottie. I like the fact that she was good looking enough to be in her garter and under lingeries and things like that, and good looking enough to kind of be in that role, but not over the top. I liked the fact that I could enjoy my fruit salad on this fancy Chinette without having to be like, oh, I can't hurt the plate, or look at how cool this plate. Like, I feel like she was perfect for the role, and I liked the fact that she wasn't some big, buxom, over-the-top super hottie.
The same thing with the teacher in Billy Madison. It's almost the exact same thing. Yeah, she played Sonya in Mortal Kombat, but did she do much of anything else? Not really. She kind of faded into the background, like Ironcaster was talking about. So.
But see, I liked that. I love that about this movie. I love that trope of she's not all up in the business. She's there. She's supporting. Of course, she's got, he's got the hottie he falls for, and there's the silly little ice skate rink or scene, or, but it's not super crazy over the top. Yeah.
But then you go look over at the water boy and the love interest in it, Vicky. This is kind of like Southern kind of crazy chick that you're like, oh, I love this chick. She's just crazy enough that she has some, little moments to herself where she's like, want me to kill him?
Oh, so I'm in the water boy? Is that what you're saying?
Oh God, I forgot. I somehow forgot he does the pop collar bad boy.
Oh yeah, wearing all black.
Bad guys wear black. Bad guys wear black.
I'm a very bad guy.
So yeah, Julie Bowen evidently is Chinette that has fruit, the fruit side dishes on it. Very forgettable and unappealing.
Which
Yeah,
isn't
She looks better in black, by the way, than
Yeah,
she
she
does
Yes,
in white.
yes. But it's because she's a blonde and she's so pale. Of course she looks better in black.
which ultimately isn't to say she's bad in the film. Like, I think she's a fine actress from this. It's just that she doesn't have anything to make her stand out.
But I
mean,
love that
outside
about.
that.
I love that she doesn't take away from the comedy, and I like the fact that this comedy is about the supporting characters and Sandler. It's not about him and the chick. It's not about the chick. It's not. It really is. I mean, I kind of like that it's kind of a mannish kind of film. It's like, forget the girls. Grimmel's funny. I love her. But they are side pieces. And I like that. I know that's just weird being a girl saying this, but I like the fact that they are. I like the fact that it's about Shooter. It's about Sandler. It's about Bob. It's about, the bottom line on the golf industry and the guy in the suit coat. Like,
Chubbs.
Ratings.
Chubbs. It's about Chubbs.
Chubbs. Yeah.
It's about the Jaws giant. And I like the fact that the one woman that is the kind of pinnacle is Grandma. Like her little picture hanging from the car, like all the flashback. I love that she is the comedian in this movie, not the so-called hottie. I love that about this movie.
Yeah, I love Grandma. Grandma makes me very happy. She's been in a lot of stuff over a lot of years, man. She's a TV actress. She's been like basically everywhere. So yeah. So I think that would probably be the biggest thing. I don't know. It's so rewatchable. I just have such a fun time watching the movie, and I think Loki hits on the head where it's a lot about everybody else, and some of the silliness doesn't get old because it's always something different. Like, you get a quick moment, but then it just goes away. Like, it's just.
I love those scenes. Or like when she's on the phone and he like points at his watch, like.
Mm-hmm. Gives her the knife, the throat. Yeah, I know.
It feels like such an oversight that they let him get away scot-free without any sort of punishment.
Well, he's still got his job. He's still got his job in the second movie.
He's in the sequel, according to the trailer. So,
and and he's got the same job. So, I mean, he's doing something right. Apparently, working them grandmas. It's knitting time. We're gonna extend arts and crafts time by 6 hours today,
love the
ladies.
quilting racket. Like, I love in the phone call about the quilts, and
this is high quality shit.
Yeah, I just didn't see that coming at all.
Like I said, I'm so envious that she got to watch this completely cold with no frame of reference.
The only thing I had going into this was I knew that it was like, I couldn't remember if it was hockey turned golf or football turned golf because I got the movies mixed up, and the only thing was I was waiting for the shampoo part.
Gotcha. Wrong movie. So we even got you misdirected on that. But they had to have gotten you with Chubbs, right? Because he shows up with the alligator head and the head,
and then at the end, and then Abe Lincoln. I love the part where he goes back to his happy place and he's playing the piano. I was like, oh.
I know, it's sweet, isn't it? Only just begun. The Carpenters, baby.
And the alligator got his eye back. Like,
yeah, he's restored. Mm-hmm. So you got that. Most people don't even realize. Oh yeah, the alligators get both his eyes. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, he's got his hand back.
Yeah,
it's ultimately a formulaic movie because you get the clear sense of the the 3 acts of the film, and it does it so well. This is one of those movies you could ultimately just throw on anytime you just want to go to your happy place. You just want to sit back and have a little laugh as he's putting the gas pump between his legs and he's spewing everywhere. The very start of the movie.
Yeah, I think Padawan, you're right. I think this movie gives you different types of humor and gags that you kind of laugh at differently, and it evolves as you evolve. And I think it's another reason why it holds up so well because it just doesn't shy away from giving you so many different things. For sure.
I love his little introduction to himself at the beginning. I know some movies try to do that little exposition of like, here's my life, and they fail at it. And I think he did this so well. Like the part where like, my mom left for Egypt because there's no hockey there.
Well, it's almost like a child telling you,
Yes.
you know, what's been going on at the house. Oh, my mom left. She moved to Egypt because there's no hockey there. Then my dad like got hit by hockey. Fucking died. He just died. What really happened to his dad? Who knows? Who knows about any of that? Because it's
But
Adam
it doesn't
Sandler.
take away from the movie.
No.
It doesn't add a super bunch, but it does give you a sense of who you're going through this movie with. But at this, I thought it was awesome. I was like, you know what? I'm glad they didn't cut that part out of the movie or think it was extra. I love the lead into it. Even if he doesn't reference his dad or mom later, or, you know, some of the jokes, you never see Grandma's Gene Simmons mask again, which we should have. I feel like we should have in his happy place.
I just had to go back to another shot of Chubbs with the hand. It doesn't get old to me, so I guess I'd make my life more complete though, because I do have a shooter shirt, but I don't have anything with Chubbs. I need to find. Do they make? Surely they make shirts.
They make shirts with Chubbs.
No, you need to wear the yellow cardigan over.
Yeah, I will. I love cardigans, so it's even more on brand
too.
for me. It's more on brand for me. I don't know that I can wear the black hand. My wife's going to be mad. That might be too much.
How about the yellow beret? Do you have a yellow?
I'd wear it. I'd go it.
Wear that over your shooter shirt.
Chubbs.
I love this little bit here where the kid in the bag trying to do what Happy did.
Yeah, he did one shot.
Oh! Oh, crap.
Yeah, Chubbs. Love the Chubbs.
See, and that scene, I thought, okay, is he going to go in there and like try to practice batting to learn how to hit the golf ball? No, and then he just stood there, and I was like, oh, hockey.
Time to toughen up for hockey season.
Yeah, so good. Squeeka, let's start for you this time. Like, how do you score this? We've got a few comedies under your belt now, so now we have some frame of reference. And by the way, spoiler alert, my video with Squeeka will come out soon. We talk about her first watch experience on Blazing Saddles. And she had the greatest quote of Blazing Saddles. This is the new poster. So whenever they want to do their next anniversary release, it needs to say, The 7 Samurai of Comedy. That is brilliant. That is the best way to describe how great Blazing Saddles is. So what do you think of this, Squeeka? How do you put this in the light with the others?
I mean, see, I don't know. Part of it, I feel like I don't know much about the comedy itself, just because I feel like I'm missing so much with all the SNL and the other Sandler movies. So I feel like it should be like higher on the list. But I loved watching this movie the first time. Part of it is I love Bob Barker. I love the rolling jokes. I love the Jaws guy. I love whoever that actor is. I love him. I've seen him in other kind of stuff. I think I've seen the Jaws that he's in too. I mean the Bond that he's in as Jaws. But I just love the running gags and the callbacks and the sneak-ins, like the little Asian lady.
So good.
And like the constant like when he shakes his hand and he loses a finger and he's like, "Oh, I got your pinky." Like I just, there is so much about this movie. It's not, I wouldn't say it's as fast paced as something like Airplane was, but it has that same feel where you know what's coming. It's still funny anyways, and you're waiting for the next one. But then they throw in other things that you weren't ready for. Like he calls that guy. I didn't expect him to run him over. I was waiting for him to just show up on the sidelines. So, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Easy at 8, 4 to 5, 8 out of 10. Like, I mean, it's a really good movie. It didn't have the shampoo scene, but I'm excited about it.
Oh, it's coming now. It's coming.
I thought it was going to happen in the beginning, like when they're repoing the house. I didn't expect the couch scene, though. Oh my God, the couch thing where he jumps on the couch and makes it drop. I want to do that. I want to hire movers just to jump on my own couch. So, I mean, yeah, I'll give it an 8. It's really funny. It's a good time. Even if you don't understand like the Burt Reynolds joke or what have you, it's still funny.
I'm a little surprised you only gave us an 8. Most of the movies we've shown you, you wind up saying are at 10.
It's only like that's
She
what I'm
has
saying.
some frame of reference now. She has some frame of reference now.
It's not Blazing Saddles. It's
No.
not Airplane. It's
Right.
so close. Maybe an 8.5. It's so close. It's so funny. But I agree too with Loki that Sandler is funny because of the cast. Like I feel like on its own, like Sandler's not a funny guy necessarily. Like he's no Gene Wilder. You know what I mean? Like I feel like he's got a lot of the same kind of bits, the same kind of gags. But when you pair those and those one-liners with Bob or with the grandma, you know, it works. And or oh gosh, what was his name? The Ben Stiller. Like it works. It all works together. And as a movie, yes, it's funny. I like the movie. So yeah, 8.5 at the most, but I would watch it again. I think it is funny.
Solid. Very solid. Ironcaster, what about you, my friend?
This is one of the movies I could throw on any time of year. Whenever I'm feeling just like I want to have a little bit of a ha in the mix. I think my favorite scene by far is where Happy is doing the long drive down the road to the house where he hits the balls for the first time, hits the guy, hits the wife in the upstairs room.
Yep.
On the balcony.
Yep.
Well, he shouldn't have been standing there.
Yep. And then hits the guy again.
Yep.
Yep.
There it is.
We should probably go inside. Yeah.
Like I said, it can be fairly formulaic. Like I said, I adore this film. This is, I think, my favorite of the Adam Sandler movies. I say this with yes, there's a lot of other amazing stuff he's done, but this one is just silly enough that really gets me in the right place. But I wouldn't quite say it's a 10 out of 10 film. I think at most I would give it it's a solid 9 out of 10. This is one I will happily keep in my collection. It's the 4 out of 5.
Gotcha. Very solid. Very solid. Loki, my friend.
It's gonna get an 8 from me. It's not the best Adam Sandler movie, but it is one hell of a funny Adam Sandler movie. And for it being one of the early ones, I mean, like I said earlier, this is because it had a wonderful cast that was right there with him. Everybody kind of made you laugh, whether it was Shooter being Shooter, whether it was Bob Barker saying bitch, because you never, ever, ever hear Bob Barker say a bad word ever. It's always, have your pet spayed or neutered. Goodbye, everybody. And
caught me off guard. You're right. I was so like I am not kidding. I almost fell off the couch when he did that.
Right, and it's just everybody came together. Even the little Chinese lady that. But you forgot breakfast. What about breakfast? And he's like, nope, I have no idea who you are. I'm never coming back to my own apartment ever again. And he never does during the entire movie. Do you see him? At least I don't think you do. Unless that's where Chubbs falls out the window. I don't remember. But you maybe see that apartment twice in the entire movie. So everybody had something to do with it. Even the girlfriend at the beginning that's like, you're never going to be anybody. You're never going to do anything. You're a wannabe hockey player that's never going to make it. Everybody kind of had their thing and had their own push in the movie. And as I said, that kind of is missing from later Adam Sandler movies, even the ones that he has stars in, because like you said, Pops, he's the one in charge of doing everything and he decides what's going to stay and what's going to go. He's doing his own movies. So
there's going to be some misses when you do that. So
yeah.
Yep.
It's the one. I would say this is one of those few. This is one of those films that makes that short list of movies that you can always throw on, and if you're hanging out with people, never gets complaints. Like this is one everyone can kind of universally agree on, because there's some films that are just, you got to find the right group of people, the right time, and it can be tough to pick. But this is easily on that short list of films that you can safely throw in and no one will complain.
Yeah, I watched this with my in-laws, and they don't usually watch movies like this, and they thought it was funny as hell. So
Yeah, it's definitely an easy go-to. Definitely rewatchable. I think I definitely would concur with everybody here. My favorite Sandler movie is it's definitely among those. Probably my most. It's probably my favorite because it's probably the one we rewatch the most. It's probably being fair. If I use my status and my equation, yeah, 4 out of 5. But when you factor in rewatchability, at least once a year, it's probably twice because it probably just gets in the rotation. It's probably like 3 times every 2 years is probably the best way to describe how often. So, and I'm with you, Padawannabe. Ever since it was available, I've always owned it, always been watching it. Saw it in the theater a couple times. Definitely, there is something probably to be concerned about you if you're not laughing at this movie. It's just can't have some fun, and it is just that, if nothing else. Like it just is, let's just have fun. And I'm with you on Caster too, where it seems like if you did like a list, I don't know, 10, 20, 25 comedies of all time, it's sort of like in that sort of like category of it's a different movie. It's not really highbrow or anything like that, but it's just a good time and it's full of laughs. And I think Loki were right that it works better than a whole lot of other films because there is some substance and growth and story arcs and stuff in there. And even though we're having cheeky gags about Chubbs, it's sweet to have Chubbs in heaven with his little hand back and stuff like that. And it is kind of fun to see Grandma's little story of the nursing home, whatever. And she shows up at the final match and, as crazy as Shooter is, Shooter just really wanted the jacket. He just wanted it. He was the best. He just wanted his shot. And yeah. So I'm horribly.
And the thing that makes it work with that is because it isn't trying to be a sophisticated, intelligent comedy. I mean, Adam Sandler, like we've said, he's just kind of like crass, like blue collar kind of guy where he's the guy who thinks, dick jokes are funny. So he's going to fuck with his buddies and like start poking someone with a nightstick.
Yeah, this is why I'm just so horribly leery of this sequel, this new film, in this new era where Sandler was given a buttload of money by Netflix to make some movies. He went to this as something he wants to mess with, and I just was like, oh, I don't know. And I think that there's something beautiful.
But at the same time, though, this is if you're looking at Adam Sandler and he wants to make it, and they want to like throw some money at something. One of his most beloved comedies to get a sequel is almost a no-brainer in and of itself. It has that easy marketing that would make it most people will sit up and say, "Oh, I love that movie. They're doing another one."
Yeah, I mean that's true. But as we've seen with all the other ones, I mentioned Axel F. Is this like they don't have a track record though of delivering, and I don't know how because SQUEEKA hit the nail on the head with all of her points. Is yeah, we like seeing this gag because Richard Kyle's in it. We like seeing this gag because it's Bob Barker. We like seeing this. How do you replicate all that and not just feel like just cheap, cheesy, cheeky ripoffs? And I think that's going to be the problem. So, solid movie for me. Definitely a 4 out of 5 with a strong rewatchability. Really good time, and just really enjoyed just rewatching. It's just a fun one. Great way to kind of it's a high mark for the old Sandler Summer. And I don't like Billy Madison and Waterboy as much as you guys do. I can have them on and have a good time, and I can laugh. But this one is actually very good, very fun. Yeah, very solid story. So
top of the pile.
What's that?
It's the top of the pile.
Top of the pile. Yeah, that's fair. You guys in chat, you've been quiet. What do you guys think about this movie? You guys have scores, how you want to score it, what are your thoughts, that kind of thing. How do you rank it? I know some folks came in about some different favorites. We mentioned a few, Big Daddy and Mr. D's and stuff like that. So I think this was, Happy Gilmore is easily the most rewatched of his movies. There's 3 or 4 others that are probably in the regular rotation yearly that Mrs. Pops will give the green light. So we'll watch this one, we'll watch that one. The dumbest one is probably Pixels. It's probably by far the dumbest of his movies that we rewatch. And I go back to the one moment, I know the people don't remember it or not, but he literally has a really perfectly timed punching Josh Gad in the face, which is just, maybe that's it. Maybe it's that Loki, that it's Josh Gad who gets punched in the face, and why that makes me happy on the inside, because that's what actually happens. So yeah. So, wait, I'm confused. Snorty, have you not seen Happy Gilmore? Please clarify. Yeah, I'm confused. I thought maybe he was referencing one of the other movies we were talking about. So
he's just not happy because there's no penguins in it for him to eat.
Yeah.
Don't tell Punk Water that.
Oh, here we go. Yeah. Well, Squeeka, I'm glad we made you laugh. I'm glad that we made you happy, and that was, a great way to get our Sandler Summer underway.
Well, all the movies make me happy. Seeing new movies is enjoyable in of itself, even if they're really bad ones. Just and getting to know some of the quotes and getting to hear y'all talk about the movies and the stories behind them and things like that. Like it's all a good time.
That's good. It's good. So we love having you here too. So your perspective is definitely something that we enjoy living vicariously through you. Like I said, we were talking before the show, and it occurred to me you had not even seen the trailer, and I was like, oh my gosh, could you imagine not knowing the Bob Barker? So, not this movie, and Punk Waddle and I have a non-aggression treaty. Fair enough. Okay, we've clarified everything. Very good. Very good. That's interesting. Well, Snorty, get out there and you can get yourself some Adam Sandler love. We'll be talking about a few of his films over the next couple of weeks for sure. So, and we'll definitely resolve this whole shampoo scene nonsense that Loki's been referencing for probably about 6 months with SQUEEKA. So we can finally put that on there and make it all work. So
I make the hair silky and smooth.
Oh gosh, the movie.
I bet you do.
He's just such a retard. It's just such a crazy movie. All right, Snorty, we expect you to report back. Report back, Snorty. Yeah. Waterboy is fun too. Like Waterboy is also just dumb fun, completely different, more football, sports stuff. So good stuff. So, Ironcaster, I'm not gonna have time for more talk cards. Do you want to just throw some of these other crazy Sandler movies at us, because we were like shooting most of them down? Like, folks, I kid you not. I think he was really trying to torture us. It's beyond torture, because I don't think Loki would come back if we made him try to watch Ridiculous 6. That's a complete. There's no. I'm not watching.
Okay.
No.
Okay. I am of the opinion that I think the most entertaining media is when people have to hate review a movie. When we had to suffer through Halo, that made for some of the most entertaining YouTube. Which is why I keep trying to find the bad stuff to throw in, even though I'm going to have to suffer through it myself, because I know it's going to be entertaining. And I'm not thinking about us. I'm thinking about the audience. Really, I'm doing it for everyone out there. In fact, I'm willing to suffer. I'm willing to make everyone else on this panel suffer for the sake of the entertainment.
I imagine you would with a whole bunch of shark movies.
In fact, this is why I thought Adam Sandler was a perfect actor to choose, because he has a number of bad movies. And look, I want to be magnanimous here. I thought we'll cover the whole like rise and fall and kind of to the current day of his career. We start with the heights of one of his greatest films. Then we kind of get into one of the bad ones, and then we kind of get into something sort of mediocre with where he's at now, where he's trying to do that more family friendly thing. So I figured a movie like Jack and Jill, which I think got the Razzie for being the worst movie of the year it came out, where it's Adam Sandler having to play against himself, was terrible enough, or quite possibly the one that is just Seven Samurai, but with the comedic twist of he's hanging out with his friends and Terry Crews is supposed to be his brother.
Yes. So okay. So that's the whole story. I have a threshold of how much I'm willing to suffer. Sorry, folks. I know. I told Loki it's not. They don't get that. They're not getting it for free. I can't do it. I can't do Ridiculous 6. It's just too far. Like it's just too much suffer. Halo.
It's too ridiculous.
It's just there's a deep scar there. And SQUEEKA, I know how much you hated Street Fighter. It's so there's not it's gonna look magnanimous. Street Fighter's gonna seem like a glorious film when you start talking about some of these other ones. So there has to be a line of how we're not going back, and I don't know. But I get it. Ironcaster does have some interesting pitches, but yeah, we have to.
I'm down for a bad one every now and then.
Yeah,
And that was one of the other things I was making the case
as
for.
long as it pops its collar, wears all black, I'm okay.
Every now and then,
Yeah.
we should throw in a bad movie just to be able to remind us that, like, for all the good movies are made even better because we know the bad movies are out there.
I know. Let's watch Highlander 2. I've heard that's a.
I've never wanted to put Squeak in timeout until this moment.
Boy, Pops, you two can sure have fun doing that one.
I have to watch the first one first.
Oh, okay. So Padawanabe's bringing up one that would just be. So that's actually on my radar screen to do. I want Loki to watch it with me. It's called Tiptoes. It's a 0 out of 10. When I watch Tiptoes, change my criteria. Gary Oldman plays a little person. Gary Oldman doesn't just play a little person. He plays like the dwarf version. Like they like have him on his knees, and they have him in like the couch with the cutout, and he's playing serious. And I found it by accident because someone asked Matthew McConaughey about it because they're quote Gary Oldman and he are brothers, and McConaughey in that great Texas drawl just says, "Yeah, I play the biggie," and I'm just like, "What on earth am I watching?" Yeah, so I have not done Tiptoes yet because I have to figure out the right way to,
Let's give you a screen cap just to show you just like how they hide his.
Yeah. They're literally just doing the dwarf thing with this, and it's played serious is a problem. It's like it's one of these things where this great actor with incredible resume of films and character immersions is played a little person. This has not aged well, folks. Wow. So
well, to be fair though, Gary Oldman has one of the most bizarre careers. Like this is one of the things he just does so constantly. There's always just some curveball film you never quite expect out of him.
Yeah, so that's sort of like. So I'm not opposed to bad movies. I will say I think there's a better place for some of them that I don't know what happened here. Ironcaster screen.
I stopped sharing.
Oh, okay. There he goes. I think there's a better place for movies like Tiptoes or something that's just become like absurdist rather than like just bad and suffering. So we'll see. Peter Dinklage, how many stars in that movie? Even Peter, yeah, maybe it's a lot. It's a lot of stars. So, but yeah, this has not been bad. I'm good. I'm looking forward to hearing Loki banter and quote Billy Madison and Waterboy for about an hour next week because it's just riddled full of those kind of quotes and lines that are just this glorious. It's fun. That's the best part of watching those two movies. I actually don't love them as much, but I do enjoy the quotes. So looking forward to that.
Are you gonna be enjoying Waterboy with a nice cold Gatorade?
No, not at all. But I do get where you're going with that. So
H2O.
Yeah.
Gatorade.
H2O.
It never stops.
Water sucks. It really, really sucks.
Loki, my friend. So YouTube talk back tomorrow?
YouTube talk back tomorrow morning. Yeah, we'll be talking about being happy with yourself instead of trying to be something you're not and forcing the issue and basically making yourself miserable trying to get all of the subs and money that everybody else has when you could be happy just being you and bringing yourself to the table and having a fun time. A lot of people get wrapped up in the money and the subscribers and the clicks and all that stuff. And then they just aren't the same after that, are they? So be happy with who you are and what you're putting out there and enjoy yourself instead of constantly bringing yourself down by thinking you aren't good enough or you're not worthy or whatever it is that your problem is. So it should be a fun talk. 8 a.m. tomorrow, 8 a.m. Central.
Awesome. And
that'll be like that for a couple months. So I'm on break. So until I start this 3,000 hour boondoggle I've got to go through, we'll have Monday and Wednesday back in the morning, and of course Friday.
Louis Sparrow, you need to behave out there. Listen, you have great love around here. Don't be getting carried away with nonsense like that.
We're not doing that.
That's not happening. So
even I have standards. And besides, we gotta wait till that movie's 10 years old.
No, it's not happening. We're not watching
not
that.
even
I'm
that.
not watching that again. Not watching
Oh,
that
I
again.
got subjected to that. I don't want to do that again either.
Yeah, we're not doing that. So,
I'm gonna lick a proton pad.
the only thing that's remotely even exists in that is the fact that poor Chris Hemsworth actually act in that movie. Like had to act, and it's like sad that it just was this. Like I don't understand, man. What a complete debacle. So
he was the best part of the movie, and they used him as the butt of the joke. Yeah,
and it was just he at least went along with it, and he had to act and perform and do his thing, and it's like, oh, just it's so god awful though. So, Ironcaster, what's coming up with you, man? You gonna be doing some stuff later on today?
Yeah, I think I should be out with a T-shirt here about an hour or so. We're gonna
rock on.
Probably talk about some nerd stuff going on. Maybe a little bit more to the updates going on with the Diamond bankruptcy.
Yeah. What a boondoggle! You still the word earlier, yeah.
It's gotten to the point now where a lot of RPG companies that are starting to feel affected by it, like hundreds of thousands of dollars of money that are owed to them that they're likely never going to be seeing the light of.
Yeah, I would not want anything part of these people, man.
Well, I mean, and the thing was, Diamond was basically the easy into getting into like libraries and Barnes and Noble for a lot of these companies. So they saw it as just the easy door in.
Right.
Yeah, Snorty Central.
Yeah, Snorty. Yes, 100%. 8 a.m. Central, 9 Eastern time for sure. Yeah, we're watching you, lady. We're watching you. So, all right. Well, it's good. Now, Squeak and I have our little video that we did over Blazing Saddles. We'll get that out here soon as I finish editing it. Get that out there for you guys. That'll be put a smile on your face for sure. Us talking through her first experience watching that glorious film. So we have that coming up. But yeah, lots of stuff. I got a lot of stuff to catch up on. I was kind of shocked at a recent interview over with Mark Miller talking with some comic book stores about sales are going well for them and why, and how this absolute universe that, in my opinion, won't matter in 5 or 10 years is driving sales that I don't totally understand. But I may end up doing a video on some of that kind of stuff and figuring out how to put a little flag in the sand over that. I've been through this many years in this kind of industry, so we'll see. I don't know. So, but next week we'll do some Waterboy and some Billy Madison and maybe some other talk. Early Sandler, just the early Sandler stuff. I watched Bulletproof. I don't even know where to watch Bulletproof. So that'd be the other one that's sort of like his earliest of films. I don't even remember much about it at all. So early Sandler, and then we'll follow that up with Uncut Gem, which haven't seen. I've heard good things about it and had always put it off, and that was an excuse to kind of throw something out there about his dramatic side and stuff that I don't dislike him as a dramatic actor. It's just he plays the one character. So I guess he kind of knows his lane, but not much else to bring to the table. And just get back to it, doing the talk hard and hanging out with everybody and doing this is what makes all this special for me. And Loki and I were talking about, like just enjoying this, man. Like, why do people would do this, make themselves suffer? Like, what is wrong with you guys? Have some fun. Have fun. Watch what you want to watch. Don't listen to the nonsense. So, anything else? Squeeka, anything else before we head out the door?
No, just have a good time. Have fun. If you have the ability to help in some way with the things that have happened over here in Central Texas, it's greatly appreciated. And for those that have helped, I just want to say thanks. I know that it's been out there and there's probably people that have done a lot. So it was real close to home, and I know a lot of people that have been affected. So thanks for everything that people are doing to help.
Absolutely.
Yeah, crazy times for sure. So,
but other than that, great movie.
Fun times. Movie. And we're back next time for some more fun times. Talk hard with you guys. Until then, you guys be blessed. Go ahead.
Thanks for not telling me about Bob Barker.
I'm so glad that it worked out. I'm so glad. So, but you guys take care. Be blessed, and we'll see you then.
Bob Ross, you'll never see me tripping. Got the vision, I don't even need assistance. Bob Ross.